Hello children, I hope you are all healthy and strong. Welcome to this special English hour. Here every day we will learn something new in a fun and interesting way. Are you ready to have fun? Okay, then let's start our day with a quick tongue twister. Children, let's say a tongue twister together. Do you know what a tongue twister is? Come, please repeat what I am saying with me at least 3 times. Black background, brown background. Black background, brown background. Black background, brown background. Now do you know why it's called a tongue twister? Come, let's try to say this a little faster and let's say it 5 times. Background, brown background. Black background, brown background. Black background, brown background. Black background, brown background. Black background, brown. I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. But I believe all of us, while we are trying, will also make a mistake. So children, do try this tongue twister, and if you enjoy it, please also share it with your friends. Children, now I would like to ask you a few questions. Let us share our thoughts and ideas. Children, can you name a few festivals that we celebrate in our country? Eid, Christmas, New Year, Diwali, Gudi Padwa, Ganeshotsav. There are so many festivals that we celebrate in our country. Which is your favorite festival? My favorite festival is Holi. I like Holi because I love playing with colors with my friends. It's a wonderful day where people from all religions get together, play Holi and enjoy wonderful snacks. Children, while learning a language, it is very important that we keep learning new words. Now, I would like to share with you a few new words. Please listen to me carefully and note them down in your notebook. We will come across these words in the story that we'll be reading today. The first word is harassed. 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 The second word is coincides. 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 The third word is fuzzy. 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 The fourth word is delicacies. 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 The fifth word is illuminated. 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 Children, we will be reading a very interesting lesson today. The Kite Festival. If you have a textbook, please open to page number 62 and point to the words as I read. If you don't have a textbook, please see your TV screens and listen to me carefully. Also, look out for the new words we just noted earlier. The Kite Festival. Years ago, the harassed mother would often say to her restless son, who needed to be kept busy during his holidays. Why don't you go fly a kite? And the little boy would happily pick up his kite and run out into the field. That, of course, was in the past, when the only kites available were made of kite paper and thin wooden frames. Kite flying has come a long way since then, with the invention of motorized and even fiberglass kites to compete with the old-fashioned kites. Today, kite flyers can be found in different parts of the world, carrying different types of kites, waiting for the right winds. So children, what is this story about? This story is about kite flying. I'm sure most of you love flying kites. In the earlier days, mothers who were troubled with their children sitting idle all day at home during their holidays would tell their children, "Go and fly kites." Children would also happily run into the fields with their kites. But now there are different types of kites available. There are motorized kites and fiberglass kites. These kites compete with the old-fashioned kites that are made of simple kite paper and wooden frames. Now, kite flying is celebrated all over the world. There are many competitions also held. People use different kinds of kites and are just waiting for the right winds. Kite flying has a long history. There are many Greek, Italian, and other mythological stories which tell us about human beings wanting to or trying to fly. Over a period of time, this desire of humans and their imagination probably led to the invention of kites. And it is likely that the box kites designed more than 100 years ago later inspired others to create power-driven aeroplanes. So children, there are many mythological stories. Mythological means traditional stories about people wanting to fly. There are many Greek and Indian stories that share that human beings always had the desire to fly. And it was this desire because of which they also invented the kites. The box kite is said to have inspired people and the design of aeroplanes. In India, however, the tradition of kite flying has not changed, be it during the coming of spring, which is celebrated as Basant, or during the festival of Makar Sankranti. People of all ages go out into the open to try their luck with their kites. In towns and cities where open spaces are difficult to find, terraces and rooftops are often used for this traditional sport. In Gujarat, Makar Sankranti is Kite Flying Day, traditionally celebrated on January 13th or 14th. It is a holiday when people meet outdoors to cut each other's kites. In India, the tradition of kite flying has not changed. People for years fly kites during the spring season or what we call Basant. They also fly kites during Makar Sankranti, which is a big festival celebrated especially in Gujarat. During January 13th and 14th, this festival is celebrated. People get together on their terraces and rooftops and fly kites. There are colors spread across the sky. This day also coincides with the festival of Uttarayan, when the sun is said to begin its journey to the northern hemisphere. The people of Gujarat celebrate Uttarayan with a lot of enthusiasm, and all business comes to a grinding halt for a couple of days. It is a celebration to mark the end of winter. This day occurs at the same time. It coincides with Uttarayan. Uttarayan marks the end of the winter season. People in Gujarat close their business down for a few days and celebrate this festival. The kite flying begins at dawn and continues without a pause throughout the day. People of all ages gather on terraces or rooftops. Friends, neighbors, even total strangers compete with one another, and cries of triumph rend the air when someone cuts the line of a rival. A wonderful variety of kites is seen, and the fussy buyer can choose what he wants. The more serious players prepare special lines for their kites. There is music in the air, and traditional delicacies are specially prepared for the day. On the kite flying day, people gather on their terraces, rooftops, and in the open fields to fly kites. Loud music is in the air. People prepare traditional delicacies. When someone cuts the line of the kite of another person, there are loud shouts that fill the air. Some buyers are very choosy of their kite, while others make sure that their line is sharp to cut the others. Held on the same day, the bigger event, however, is the International Kite Festival at Ahmedabad. Organized by the Gujarat State Tourism Corporation, it is held either at the Sardar Patel Stadium or the Police Stadium. This popular festival attracts international kite flyers who demonstrate their skills in flying exotic kites and local champions as well. Little Indian paper kites compete with those from Japan, USA, UK, and other countries. Excited spectators watch in awe as marvelous shapes such as eagles and snakes soar into the skies. Every year on this same day, the International Kite Festival is organized in Ahmedabad. It is organized by the Gujarat State Tourism Corporation. It is held at the Sardar Patel Stadium or Police Stadium. Every year, competitors from all over the world, USA, UK, China, they all come to India and participate in this kite flying festival. Spectators watch in awe as they see the sky being filled with colorful kites and different shapes like dragons and snakes. One of the highlights of this festival is the Patang or Kite Bazaar in the heart of Ahmedabad, which is open 24 hours a day for a whole week. A visit to this bazaar in the middle of the night is enough to prove that the entire city is obsessed with kites. People crowd the streets and buy their stocks, haggling through the night. Skilled craftsmen demonstrate age-old kite-making skills and how to prepare the special thread used for kite flying. Mixtures of glue and ground glass cover the lines, which are dried and rolled into reels known as firkis. These lines are so sharp that, carelessly used, they can cut a finger. The people of Ahmedabad are obsessed with the kite flying festival. This can be known with the Patang Bazaar or the Kite Bazaar that is organized for a whole week to stay open for 24 hours. People can even visit there at night and buy their stock of kites and thread. Skilled craftsmen during this time demonstrate the art of preparing kites and also sharpening the thread. They use ground glass and glue to make the thread sharp, which makes it easier to cut the line of other kites. This thread is then rolled onto reels. These reels are called firkis. If one is not careful, one might also cut one's own finger. The excitement does not end with nightfall. Now it is time for illuminated box kites, often strung on one line, to be launched into the sky. Called tukals, they add a grand beauty to the dark sky and compete with the brilliance of the stars. During the day, people enjoy themselves by flying kites, and at night they send illuminated lanterns in the sky. These illuminated box kites are also called tukals, and they look beautiful against the dark night sky. So children, in today's lesson, we learned a lot about the history of the kite flying festival and also the history of kites. I hope you all enjoyed learning about the festival of Makar Sankranti and how it is celebrated in Gujarat. Children, let's do an activity now. In this activity, we will understand verb forms better. In a verb form, there is a tense and an aspect. Tense means past, present or future. Aspect means progressive, perfect and perfect progressive. Let's try to understand these better. The first type of aspect is progressive, which means continuous. Be plus verb followed by ing. Let's have a look at the present progressive. He is playing. Here we can see is. Play is the verb followed by ing. Next, past progressive. He was playing. Was. Play is the verb followed by ing. Future progressive. He will be playing. Will be. Play followed by ing. So, we can see that when it is a progressive continuous aspect, be plus the verb followed by ing will be used. Is, was and will be are forms of be. Perfect. Have, has, had, verb followed by en or ed. Present perfect. They have played. Have, play followed by ed. Past perfect. They had played. Had, play followed by ed. Future perfect. They will have played. Will have, play plus ed. So children, when the aspect is perfect, we have has or have or had written before the verb which ends with en or ed. Perfect progressive. Have, has, had plus been plus verb followed by ing. Present perfect progressive. We have been playing. Have, been, play followed by ing. Past perfect progressive. We had been playing. Had, been, play followed by ing. Future perfect progressive. We shall have been playing. Have, been, play followed by ing. So in the perfect progressive form, have, has, had, in addition to been and the verb followed by ing are used. So children, please read the sentences carefully that will now appear on your screen. Underline the verb forms in it and state their tense and aspect. Children, I hope you were able to underline the verb forms and state their tense and aspect. Come, let's have a look at the answers. They are waiting for the right winds. Are waiting is the verb form. The tense is present tense and the aspect is progressive. As we can see that a form of be and the verb followed by ing is used. People were haggling over the price of kites. The tense is past. The aspect is progressive. Vendors had been selling kites all through the week. The tense is past. The aspect is perfect progressive. Skilled craftsmen had demonstrated age-old skills. The tense is past. The aspect is perfect. State Tourism Cooperation will be organizing the International Kite Festival. The tense is future tense. The aspect is progressive. Kite flyers have demonstrated their skills with exotic kites. The tense is present tense and the aspect is perfect. Children, I hope you like this activity. Children, till we meet next time, please take care. Bye-bye and stay safe.